Let me begin with a question that may shape the next generation. What happens to a continent with the world's youngest population when the world begins to require fewer workers? Across the world today, many young people are studying for jobs that may not exist in the same way in the next decade. This should bother us, not only economically, but also psychologically. Because for many people, work is not just income, it's identity, it's dignity, it's structure, it's hope. And quietly, the structure of work is changing. Artificial intelligence is no longer a future conversation. It's already here, writing codes, analyzing legal documents, supporting medical diagnosis, developing content, supporting automating customer services, automating repetitive tasks, improving productivity at speeds that you've never seen. And this creates both excitement and anxiety. Because for decades, developing economies were told something simple: educate your population, expand your workforce, and connect to global market, and prosperity will follow. But the world is shifting. The future may not reward a nation simply because of a large population. It will reward a nation or a community that can organize intelligence, infrastructure, and system effectively. And this matters deeply for Africa because Africa is entering the future with two realities at the same time. One of the world's youngest population and one of the world's weakest system. That combination can become a disaster or an advantage. The difference will depend on coordination. Now, let me say something important. AI is not merely taking jobs, it's redistributing leverage. A single person with the right tool can now do the same work that previously required a team of 7 people. A designer can produce in hours what once take an entire week. A small business can automate the entire customer engagement. Access to predictive data can reduce waste and improve the pricing decision. A doctor using AI-assisted diagnostics may reach more patients faster and with more precision. The issue is no longer efforts alone, it's amplified capability. And this is where many societies struggle. Because technology rewards those who are prepared to use it, not only those who have access to it. A laptop alone is not transformation. AI tools alone are not an abundance. Without electricity, without digital infrastructure, without institutional trust, without useful education, without coordination, the gap between potentials and realities widens. This is why technology by itself does not solve broken systems. It only amplifies it. If corruption exists, technology can scale corruption. If misinformation exists, AI can accelerate misinformation. If institutions are weak, digital systems inherit the weakness. But the reverse is also true. If systems are functional, technology can accelerate that abundance. A world where people are connected, yet often isolated. A world where people are informed, yet often confused. We've seen that tension globally. A world where people are more productive, yet less certain about meaning and stability. Because technological advancement and human flourishing are not automatically the same thing. This is why the future conversation cannot only be about AI. It must be about education, infrastructure, governance, incentives, ethics, and social systems. Because intelligence without ethics becomes dangerous, and innovation without coordination becomes unstable. And perhaps this is one of the most defining ethical questions of all time. Will artificial intelligence expand opportunities or concentrate power further? Because from what we know from history, technology has always rewarded those who are close to capital, infrastructure, and influence. Will it democratize abundance or deepen exclusion? And societies that fail to prepare early often pay heavily later. This is where Africa must rethink carefully. The continent cannot afford to be merely a customer of global intelligence. It just must learn to build systems that adapt intelligence to local realities. Agriculture, healthcare, education, housing, energy, finance. These are not abstract structures. These are everyday systems affecting lives. Imagine farmers using AI-powered market coordination to reduce waste and predict demand more accurately as Supe.ng does. Imagine small businesses using intelligence tools to scale globally beyond this locality. This world is possible. But possibilities alone changes nothing. Because history teaches us something important. New technology does not necessarily bring new inclusion. The Industrial Revolution created wealth, but it also produced inequalities where systems were weak. And this is why the deeper issue is not technology itself, it's industrial readiness. Do we have systems capable of converting intelligence to broad prosperity? Do our schools teach adaptability or memorization? Do our policies reward builders or rent seekers? Do we prepare citizens merely to consume technology or to shape it? Do we invest in quality infrastructure or political spectacle? Because the future economy will reward not only labor, but problem solving, not only population, but productive coordination, not only intelligence, but organized intelligence. And organized intelligence requires trust. Trust in institutions, trust in systems, trust that efforts can still produce productivity. This is why ethics matters economically. A society where contract fails, where merit is ignored, where information is not reliable, cannot compete favorably in a high intelligence world. So the real question before Africa is larger than AI. It is whether we can build systems capable of converting human potentials into productive capacities. And perhaps this is Africa's biggest opportunity. Not to imitate the information age late, but to help shape a more human technological future. One where innovation is connected to dignity and intelligence serves the society. One where progress is measured not only by efficiency, but by one where progress is measured by whether human actually flourish. Because many advanced economies are actually aging, but Africa is still young, entrepreneurial, creative, and adaptive. If properly coordinated, that energy can become one of the most valuable assets of the future economy. But if poorly coordinated, it can deepen frustration, unemployment, inequality, migration problems, and even crimes. So the future is not a guarantee, it's a design. And designs requires leadership beyond slogans, beyond fear, beyond excitement. It requires long-term thinking, institutional building, infrastructure, and human capital development. Because in the end, the nations that thrive may not be the most technologically advanced. They may be the one most capable of organizing people, trust, intelligence, and opportunity into functioning systems. And that means the future is still open. I am Segun Oke, the Abundance Evangelist. Thank you for thinking with me. And if this episode resonates with you, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section. I'll read them. We are building this understanding together and perhaps helping shape the future with it. Hope to see you in our next episode. Thank you.